Good afternoon, Namibia and the world, and welcome to our Wednesday edition for this week of the Government Information Center. And the topic for this afternoon is the fact that Namibia will be hosting the 4th Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge. I am your host for the afternoon, and my name is Shianua Desire Kahiha. At this point is where we usually have our COVID-19 update for the day, but we will be giving that through as soon as we receive it. For now, we continue with this particular topic of discussion, and we have two panelists in the studio this afternoon who will be giving us a bit more clarity on what all of this is all about. We have Mr. Philon Karkasep. He is the chief, tourism officer with the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. We also have Mr. Shoki Kanjimi. He is the chair of the Media and Awareness Subcommittee of the Summit, and he is from the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
We kick it off very simple. We want to know Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge 2022. Give us the context of this project and how it involves us as Namibians and our youth.
Okay, maybe I can answer that one. Good afternoon to all the viewers. So, I'd like to just give, as you asked, a basic background about the Youth Summit and of course, how did this come about? As we all know, Namibia was really not spared like many other destinations from the negative impacts of COVID-19. So when we closed down, when the whole world closed down, and Namibia was one of the first countries, excuse me, Namibia was one of the first countries that opened up its borders. I think the leadership from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia, of course, instructed Honorable Bohamba, Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, that, really we need to see how we can, reboost tourism in Namibia. And because of that, the ministry went out, seek assistance from UNDP to do an assessment of the entire situation in the country. And when that report was produced, excuse me, when the report was produced, the ministry then had to do a stakeholder consultation workshop. And from that, the ministry developed a tourism recovery plan. And some of the recommendations of the tourism recovery plan were really, what are the things that the country can do, to reboost travel and tourism quickly. So the key recommendations that came through the tourism recovery plan were that we need to boost confidence, develop confidence around the world of COVID. Excuse me, that Namibia is ready to host the world. And of course, my sector was then identified as one of the most sustainable and effective sectors that really contributes towards destination countries. And because of that, the Director of Tourism was really tasked to implement the tourism recovery plan. And he took part in a number of strategic events around regionally. And when he took part in the South Africa Indaba, Tourism Indaba, he came across this opportunity that, there's a call for countries, Southern African countries or the African countries to host the Africa Youth Tourism Summit. Yeah. And because of that, we, Namibia, then had to prepare a bid, and we became successful in this bid. And for the next 3 years, we have the right to host this event, which is a milestone for the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I think it's you can see the shock on my face. We'll be doing it for 3 years, and it's not shock as in a negative way, but it's shock in looking at the positivity thereof and what it can mean. And thus it brings me to the next question, which I will be posing to Mr. Kanjimi. Mr. Kokasep now spoke about the fact that, it's something that will be running for 3 years. It's a sector that really we cannot deny. It is necessary, especially for our African countries. We're looking at the youth who do need a lot of initiatives, who do need a lot of opportunities to be opened up to them. But now, Mr. Kanjimi, from working on this project, the preparation for this, what benefits do projects such as these bring to Namibia? What do you think, this type of project would do for us as a country?
No, as early stated, it's all about the COVID-19 recovery for the country itself. But of course, it places this summit places a specific focus on young people. So it's basically to create a viable network for them and to also empower them at the same time, especially the startups, the small enterprises who are basically do not have market access and so forth.
Yes.
So this summit will provide that to them. From the empowerment aspect, it's more of them getting mentored and getting all the necessary information on how to build up a tourism establishment, for instance. But also from another view is the fact that as a country, Namibia, we get to market Namibia as a number one destination of choice, be it in Africa or beyond. So we want more people to come to Namibia to see what we have to offer and so forth. And also at the same time, I'm coming from the Ministry of Information, so it also gives us also an opportunity to basically market our country as a firm destination out there. Yeah.
Mr. Phelan, we've looked at the marketing, we've looked at the youth and so on, but in the current situations that we find ourselves, how does this project directly funnel into the growth of the sector, especially when we look at the new norm of COVID-19 and also post-COVID-19?
Yeah. So, tourism is identified in all our national, mostly of course through 3, 4 and 5 national development plans, and of course through the Harambere Prosperity Plan as a priority sector that promises of course of job creation at rural communities, of course economic development. And tying into that, although the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, especially when it comes to tourism development, is really, really underfunded. Under the challenges that we have, we try to do the maximum that we can. So currently the ministry is trying to set up regional tourism forums in all the regions that will be responsible for, of course, identifying the opportunities that are in the regions, identifying, of course, the challenges that are in the regions. And of course, this will then also, lead towards empowerment of course, the previously disadvantaged Namibians. And of course, the youth agenda is, of course, always on the top of the main agenda. So just adding, or prior to the summit, the actual summit, we have identified the opportunity to have a masterclass for the youth. So the masterclass will be almost kind of like, developing or transforming an idea into an actual business, and also looking into the maize sector, trade, building capacity a little bit towards in the maize, and of course also the digital transformation as challenges of COVID-19 is almost pushing us all to move towards a digital way of doing things. So this summit, of course, focuses more on building that capacity and filling that gap that, of course, was created by COVID-19. Yeah.
Okay. As we always say on this show of ours, it's a conversation, and it's a conversation that should include, as it involves our whole nation. So we welcome you as our viewers to give us a call in the studio. Our number here is 061, that's the area code for the Commerce region. The number is 400-397. 061 400-397. You can call us. We are also welcoming your comments and questions on our social media platforms through which we are live streaming these shows. And on Facebook, you can find us at the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Republic of Namibia. That's on Facebook, Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Republic of Namibia. You can also find us on YouTube, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. MICT Namibia. That is on YouTube. While we wait for you to join our conversation, we continue here with our panelists in the studio. Mr. Kanjimi, what is the Youth in Tourism Innovation Challenge competition about? And in the same vein, speak to us about the lined up activities and programs.
Well, thank you so much for that question. I think the challenge itself is more like a platform being offered to young people. Like we said, really this summit is placing a specific focus on the young people in Africa and so forth. So this is just a platform where they are provided, or they provide the innovative African youth in the travel and tourism sector who are looking for funding, mentorship, and also partnership. So you might be aware of the fact that a lot of people will be coming to Namibia from the African countries and also from other countries beyond Africa. So they will also come share some skills on innovative ways within the travel and tourism sector. So they get to also benefit from that. But the challenge is more also to see how innovative young Africans can be within the tourism and travel sectors.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. It sounds interesting. I think it's semi-exciting, and one wouldn't say ambitious. What's the other word? Where it's like it gives you that push, that excitement.
Some sort of excitement.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can't wait for it because everything around it sounds so positive, especially for the youth. And I think really the youth have been needing something like this for a while, especially knowing how very active they are when it comes to technology. And, you know, this is a way for us to try and marry their technology experience with the tourism sector that is in high need of support to be reboosted, really. As we said, it's a conversation. Join us. Our call-in number is 400-397 with the area code of 061 400-397. The next question is, this question is between the two of you, though.
Okay.
Anyone can answer it. Yeah. Is it open to the public or just those in the tourism sector? And what are the entry prerequisites?
Okay, so it's actually open to sectors that add value to the tourism value chain. So this could be a youth, for instance, that has a unique marketing product that introduces the rural, authentic, traditional product. You know, there could be an oversight from maybe the traditional marketing ways. And if you have come up with something like that, of course, you can pitch your idea and take part in the competition. Or you probably have, like I said, branding. You add value to the branding of the destination, Namibia, or let's say Swakopmund or Windhoek or Karibib. You know, there are some towns that we just drive through, but if there's a youth in Karibib that you know has really developed something, or you know products that are existing, and you have put a package together, you know, bring that idea forth, and of course then you could stand a chance. So it's really someone that adds value to the tourism value chain. So maybe you might want to touch on the requirements. Prerequisites.
Yeah, I think he has also mentioned quite a lot, but also it's just more about you bringing out that innovation out there in terms of the challenges that the tourism sector is faced with. What are you bringing to the table that will really aid all those challenges that the tourism sector really is faced with? And we are also looking at something that has a vision, something that is very authentic and so forth. And it should provide some sort of like I said, to aid all those challenges that the tourism sector is faced with. It also should be a sustainable project because we don't want it to be just a once-off thing, but we want it to last longer. That will also generate an income for yourself and also create jobs for the jobless and then so forth.
Staying with that, is there an age restriction to the participants of this competition?
So, so the whole event is having a variety of participants or stakeholders that will be taking part. So there will be those that are taking part in the conference. They are the speakers and presenters. We don't have an age limit to the speakers and the presenters because these are sometimes the funders, like Mr. Kanjimi was saying. These are people with money that, you know, want to hear what do the youth need. And of course, some of them are sharing their experiences. So in Namibia's case, it would be people like Hafeni, of course, we all know Hafeni from Swakopmund. So these are people that wants to share with their youth, like how did they come to places where they are. And of course, if there's a youth that wants to, of course, partner up with Haveni to say, no, I have this product, how can we work together? So in that aspect, we don't have a limit. And of course, when it comes to, there's also those that will be exhibiting. We don't have age restriction on the exhibiting part. But priority will be given to the youth, of course. But when it comes to the competition, that's strictly for youth from ages 18 to 35. So that's where we have the limit, age restriction.
So there's no possibility for senior youth? I mean, like, most of us are senior youth. I'm just asking for a friend,
Yeah. So like I said, the ministry is working on other platforms, of course, taking part in other, in collaboration with the Namibia Tourism Board, taking part at other platforms like the Indaba, ITB, and so on. So that's where we want to cater or promote the
senior youth.
The senior youth.
Okay. No, as long as there's some form of prospective light for us senior youth, because nowadays we don't know where we fall anymore. And we also need the opportunities.
Exactly.
Guys,
Well, what's important is that you still get the chance to take part in the summit. And that's the interesting part, because you get to learn a lot from the presentations, from the panelists, from the various discussions that will be happening during the 4-day summit itself. So you are not losing out as the senior youth, but you still have the option to also see what is happening there.
No, at least, there's something that we can also be involved in with regards to the summit. It doesn't completely exclude us. So really, I think it's a good thing that we did ask some of these nitty-gritties, so that people don't think it's just for those between those ages. We might be trying to, if I understand correctly, trying to boost with regards to the competition, those between those age groups, but the information and the education that comes along with it with regards to the summit is for all. I believe all have something that they can take away from the summit. How can one apply to compete in this challenge, and where can interested persons find out more information? Is there a page that has been set up for the summit? Is there maybe a call line that they can call? Somebody they can directly speak to if they don't understand something, or an office that they can visit?
Well, it's very, very, very simple. You can just, there's a website dedicated to the summit. So all you need to do is just to go onto that website. That is www.youthinTourismSummit.com. That's basically where you can get all the information. That's also where
you repeat that again, the website?
So it's www. The 3 W's, don't forget, youthtourismsummit.com. So that is the website address where you can just log on and get all the information related to the challenge, the competition itself, and that's also where you get to apply for this competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Physical address?
Physical address, of course, you can visit the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. I think Mr. Filon can also expand on that in terms of the contact details.
Okay. So you can visit the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. That's the corner of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda and Robert Mugabe Avenue. And of course, we can also share our contact details at the end of the session.
Okay.
Or if you like, we can share it now.
Oh, you can go ahead.
So my number will be +264 811 280 903.
Okay.
0811 280 903.
Okay.
Yes. So you can reach me there, and of course I can put you in touch with any other area of interest that you may have, or explain for queries that you may have.
Okay.
Mine is also, I can also guide you in terms of the whole application process.
Yeah.
That's, of course, +264 811 47 239. That's +264 811 407 239.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I hope you caught that. If you have an interest in partaking in this challenge, it sounds like something worth taking part in. Please do not miss your chance to do so. There is a website that you can go onto. They have everything there for you. It is dedicated to the summit specifically. It is www.youthtourismsummit.com. Otherwise, you can call Mr. Fallon, and his number is 0811 280903 or +264 811 280903. Or you can call Mr. Shoki, and his number is +264 811 407 239. We continue with this one, and we want to know what kind of prizes are up for grabs. I'm sure a lot of people want to find out because we all know that they can have a way of, kind of pushing us into this. So, what are we looking at?
Okay, maybe I can start with the first part of the prizes. That
Okay.
means there are quite a lot of prizes up for grabs. So we encourage you to really take part in this competition. Of course, for the first prize, the first person gets to walk away with over $1,000 US in
Wow.
cash. And then the second and the third second runner-up gets to walk away with $500 US. And my colleague will touch on the rest.
Okay. So tied to that is also you have a complimentary enrollment on some of the short courses that are offered by the UNWTO.
Okay.
So that's really good. You of course stand a chance to get mentorship, partnership, and funding. And apart from that, maybe I can use this opportunity to also just call on the private sector and any other stakeholders to come up with, enticing the youth.
Yeah.
Like I can also share the Gondwana collection, kudos to them, they've already come on board.
Wow.
And they've said that they will offer the winner, like 2 to 3 nights at some of their establishments. And of course, as you know, Gondwana has places at some of the most unique places in Namibia. So please, it's free. Just take part and enjoy the luxury.
Okay. Senior youth, Gondwana, can you consider, maybe I've got a few ideas that can push me through to the winning position, because